Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Marvel Legends first time they made Astonishing Wolverine. I believe this guy came out in the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure wave. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. There was a variant of him without the mask on, so he just had the regular head with the cowl that came down around his neck. I couldn't find him, so I don't know if I still have him or not, but be aware that that does exist out there. So let's take a look at the height first, because everybody always complains that Wolverine's too tall, he should be shorter than everyone else, and this figure is smaller than most of the other Legends. He's only about 5.5 inches tall, which puts him at about 14 centimeters. So he's definitely smaller. The one gripe I have about the size change is he looks like a smaller scale figure because everything else is still the same proportions. It's not like he's small and stocky, he just looks... It's kind of hard to explain because you're probably thinking, well, he should just have smaller proportions if he's smaller, which, yes, he should, but the way it's done, it just looks like he's a smaller figure. So let's put him up against Cap. So it just looks like a slightly smaller scale rather than Wolverine. To me, maybe it's not that big of a deal, and it's not a big deal even for me. It's just something I noticed, and maybe nobody else did, so I'll just stop talking about it. So this figure, I think it doesn't get enough credit because it does a lot of things really well. As far as the sculpt goes, there's a lot of unique stuff. Maybe all unique, to be completely honest. I'm not certain about like the biceps or the shoulders, but his torso has a ton of sculpt work in there made specifically for this Wolverine suit. You can see all the stitching around the stripes, the seam down the middle. He's got some nice shoulder pads on there. The face sculpt, not my favorite. It makes his nose look really fat and his face look kind of scrunched, but it's definitely not bad. It's just not my favorite. But even then, there's lots of detail sculpted in there. The stitching is continued all the way down throughout the legs. The boots have nice sculpt work in them. It's a really solid figure. Now, we do have some issues, though, and the main issue... Okay, I have two main issues. One is the hands are not good. We have these hinged fingers, but why? They're sculpted only to make a fist, but they have a hinge in there, I guess, just to advertise articulation. I don't know. And then we also have this issue with the waist, where it splits the belt in half. That's just not a good design at all. They should have definitely done something better than that. Okay, so as far as articulation goes, you can actually get the head to look pretty far up, so if you want to bend him over, put him in like a crouching pose, you can do that. So that's a really good thing. A lot of figures can't do that. You can look all the way down. You can rotate the head around on the swivel, so no problems there. Standard ball hinge for the shoulder works really well. Really no complaints there. It ratchets front to back. And then we have a nice bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow, not the best. You end up only with about 90 degrees, so it's not great, but it'll work. It's not horrible. We have a swivel in the wrist and a hinge in the wrist, and then that hinge in the fingers, that's pretty useless. Luckily, they do look like fists, so it's not that big of a deal, but that joint could have been useful or just not in there at all. And then the claws, if you heat them up and get them lined up, they're actually not bad. They probably are a little bit long, but I've seen way worse, so I'm okay with it. I mean, there haven't been great claws until the Hasbro newest Wolverine with those removable ones that we first saw at Comic-Con a couple years back. These aren't the worst. They're okay. They do have kind of a lousy sculpt to the tip, though. They just look like not great. But they're fine. They're not horrible. It's not going to kill the figure. So you already saw the ab crunch. He leans back. He leans forward. It's pretty good. Waist twist we already saw. His hips are not T-jointed hips. That's also a little bit problematic because it throws off the sculpt, especially since they put all that effort into the sculpt. I wish they hadn't done the T-jointed hips, but at least with the Y joints, they're not the bad kind where we can't get the range of motion, so that's not a deal breaker. As you can see, as I was just doing that, the thigh swivel works just fine. Double jointed knees, good range of motion. Ankle rotation, we do get some hidden in the top of the boot, so if you like that, that's a good thing. We have a really nice ankle joint. It's a little ugly, but we have great range of motion. So once you get imposed, it shouldn't really be an issue. And then we also have a really good ankle rocker, so that's awesome. And a toe hinge. So really all the articulation you could want, you could have it here for one low price. Now, I don't know how much he costs right now, current going rates on eBay, but he's definitely a good looking figure. I didn't even mention yet that the shading on the yellow is really, really well done. Not that chalky orange that we've been getting on that lemon yellow. This looks really good. That's how yellow should be done. So I really do like this figure, even though he's not my favorite Wolverine. He's definitely one that I think you should have in your collection. He's really good for posing, and he's just a fun figure to have. So stick around. I'll put him in some poses. You can see what he looks like. how he's going to look on your shelf perhaps, or however you want to do that. But stick around for that, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see my upcoming figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.